Alright, got my man Sparrow in the building. Got Flint
What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing?
doing alright. So, we got a few questions for you today.
Let's break them down.
Alright, so let's start with how you been holding up through this quarantine? How you been handling that?
Well, in the beginning of the quarantine, things were they were real lonely and real financially hard. Like there was a lot of people losing jobs and everything, and around at least the area I was living in, I was in like a real lonely in my mindset. But once towards like spring and the summer came around, I started to actually start to go a little bit harder with the music shit and meet my producer, get shit moving on with the music, and quarantine for me hasn't been as bad as it has been for a lot of people. I think it's been terrible for tons of people, but for me, 1 to 10 scale, I'd give it like an 8.
Alright, and on that note, how are you been? Have you been making music during this lockdown? And what's been that schedule like?
Yeah, I have been making music on the lockdown. There's not really like a specific schedule on making the music, although I try to get as much done as possible when I'm able to get it done, and then I like to save up my work and post it when it's available. I mean, I would say a base schedule for my music would at least be 1 to 2 music videos a month and at least 2 to 3 singles a month. But I'm hoping to get a little bit more consistent with the music here in the recent future.
Alright, so you're from Flint, right? You grew up in Flint.
Yep, born and raised.
What area of Flint?
The east side, right over by the Flint water plant. It's called the area I'm in is called Rollingwood. There's like different areas of the east side.
All right, and then can you talk to me about your early influences? What inspired you to start rapping and go from the earlier influences to your current influences? I'll
Oh
mention a
man.
few in between.
Oh man. Fuck. I don't even know how to. Um, Eminem, NF, Hobson. Um, I liked Ghostface Killer, Master P.
I guess let me rephrase the question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What was like the main one that made you decide? Oh shit, this is something I could do. I want to do this. I want to be a rapper.
For sure, Eminem. For sure. Watching
Eminem.
8 Mile. For sure.
Yeah.
After I watched 8 Mile, I'm not gonna lie.
All right. And then would you say that Eminem influenced your current style?
Um, well, Eminem grew up in Detroit, and a lot of people say that my style is similar to Detroit artists. So I guess you could say that. Yeah, I don't feel like um, my music is similar to his in a way, like lyrical and like the fast rap and like anything like that. But I guess in the same area, we have the same area sound. But Eminem's more lyrical with everything he does. So
Yeah. So would you say you have like a Flint type style at this point?
oh yeah. I've shout out to YNJ and Louis Ray and Rio, but Flint hasn't been in a very large light in the recent years. So I feel like they created something that Flint hasn't had in a minute. Like there was the Detroit style music, there was the this style music. Now you could listen to a song and be like, yeah, that's a Flint type guy. He's a Flint rapper. And I like that. So shout out to YNJ and Louis and Rio for that shit. That shit is hard.
All right. And then for the audience listening, I would say those are pretty similar styles.
For sure.
But in your opinion, what would be the main differentiating factor that would make you say, "Oh, this is a Detroit rapper versus this is a Flint rapper"? Is it subject matter, beat
Um,
selection,
it could it
delivery, flow, what kind of thing?
um I think that Flint and Detroit have a lot of similar like similarities when it comes to a lot of things, but one thing that differentiates Flint music from any other music in the world, I think, is the hard hitting 808s, the boom boom boom, like in the Coochie Scout song.
Like hype beats, like
Yeah, like it's kind of hard to explain, but from a rapper's perspective, when you hear like the boom boom boom, like the It's so hard to explain, but yeah, there is this very signature Flint sound, you know, like it's just I don't know, like I said, listen to Rio or Louis Ray or Y&J, and you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from with the types of beats.
Yeah. So and I'm pretty sure you heard this before. They do call Detroit City Techno City. And I've noticed that both Detroit and Flint rappers have like a very peculiar beat selection that's like 808 driven. But the beats do kind of sound like somewhat techno, not exactly. Would you agree on that?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, me myself, I used to, back in the day, I used to listen to like heavy metal, and a lot of the heavy metal would have techno and EDM and like things like that influencing the music. So I feel like a lot of EDM definitely spilled into Flint rap and just in rap in general, I think.
All right. How are you currently spending your time?
Right now, just laying low, writing, waiting my turn. I'm trying to think of putting out as much content as possible to keep all my viewers and fans and not fans and just everybody. I'm trying to stay in everybody's face. That's really what I'm trying to do with my time.
All right. And then maybe not a lot of people know this about you, but in your early career, you were either a hype man or associated or hanging out with Long Neck, right? Long Neck Gang.
Yeah. I got the shit tatted on my arm.
How did that go for you, and what did you learn from that experience?
Well, see how all that happened is I noticed Davey was blowing up on Facebook and stuff, and me and him had talked prior, throughout the years, just not really known each other, but had mutual acquaintances and this and that. And I had seen that he was getting a lot of live viewers, and I said to myself, I said, I think there's potential in this kid. There's got to be something here, So I called him and I bugged the shit out of this kid. I mean, I bugged him. I was like, bro, I'm coming over. I don't give a fuck what you say. You're getting 2,000-3,000 views a live video. I'm coming over your house. I know how to market the shit. So, I eventually went over there, and I mean, from day one, it was, we were right then and there. It was Pop Long Neck, but it was Long Neck Gang. That was the whole situation, and it was me, his brother Alan, and his uncle Tyler, and we just started like making just funny videos, and all of a sudden, everything just blew up and started getting posted to like World Star, and it was happening so often that like, when we would get posted by World Star, we wouldn't even, it wasn't a big deal. Like, we'd wake up to a post by World Star type shit. So, and I wouldn't say I was per se a hype man. I was just, I was really there to give a more real outlook on everything. I was there to make sure things went the way that they were supposed to the best of my ability. And, from that experience, although I've learned that people aren't always who they say they are, and anybody can change at any given moment. So, my advice to everybody else is just to don't ever put your all into one thing. I put my all into this Long Neck thing, and, so make ssure you have everything for yourself, ready to go for yourself, and do things for you.
All right. And then, how's Long Neck doing? When's the last time you spoke to him?
I talked to him like January of last year, to be honest. We really don't talk. I mean, I'm sure he's doing well, and I do wish him well. We just have two different outlooks on life and outlooks on how things should go. So, I wish him well and everything. Although,
all right. I see you've been putting tons of music out in the past year. How long does it take you to write a song?
Well, it really depends. See, sometimes I could just go into a studio and throw me on the mic. I'll make something. You know what I'm saying? But if there's like a topic that I want to write about or something I feel that really needs to be said, it could take me anywhere from an hour to a day. Sometimes I like to go into the song, write a little bit, and then come back in a little while and come back with a fresh new outlook on what I should be writing down. So
Okay, and what would you say is different from the music you did when you started versus the music you are doing right now?
see, well, the music I did when I was starting, like I said, I was really heavily influenced by Eminem and NF and things like that. So, um, and Joyner Lucas as well. Joyner Lucas is a super huge influence. He's actually my favorite rapper. But so I would watch them, and they would do beat challenges. They would like, for example, the Bank Account beat by 21 Savage. Joyner would do a remix to that, and it would absolutely blow the original song away. I mean, like, I didn't even want to listen to the original Bank Account anymore. So I started to do that. I started to get some views with that, and I just kind of followed in like Joyner's steps. Like I was more of like I had more of like a lyrical, meaningful outlook onto the music.
What are what are you currently working on?
Well, right now I have pre- I don't even know what the word is, but plethora of things. I mean, I have I'm working on a whole entire project with my little cousin, 4 a.m. We have a whole entire duo project coming where we're going back to back on the bars. Um, Around the March 1st, middle of March area, I'm hopefully going to drop my 5 song EP. It's going to be called East Side Soldier of Flint. It'll be my second big, or well, actually third, but second big project. Um, I think that this specific EP that's coming out is going to be a whole nother level of like bars and like just funny, witty catchphrases and just things like that.
Tell me a story about your dog tag chain type thing you got going on.
Oh, this thing. Okay, well, all right. So my brother Michael passed away in 2015, and one of our buddies got a little dog tag with his name and his death date and his birthday, and it says U.S. Army, Genesee County. So it's just something that I always try to keep around my neck. And then this, a really, really close friend, damn near brother, Nate King, passed away very recently, and this says King. So I just try to keep something to, like, always remember the people that were super, super close to me. Close to me. I always try to keep it really close to me and keep the memory really, really fresh.
So I did hear something about your 21st birthday party selling out. Can you elaborate on how that go about and
Oh
how
man,
was
dude.
it?
That show was absolutely nuts. Shout out to the lounge there in Flint. I mean that motherfucking building was packed. I mean, of course it was my 21st. It was only like it was maybe like my third show, but of course all like the really important people that I had around me came. People, I had people from Kentucky come. I mean, I had different artists there performing. Um, I mean, the building was literally packed, like elbow to elbow type shit. And after everybody started to leave and everything, fucking, this was after everybody had got done performing and all that. There was like an older lady like walking underneath something, and one of the thingy mobobs on the inside of the roof thing collapsed. Boom! Almost fell right on her. It wasn't like a big situation or nothing, but it was funny. So we literally fucking rocked the roof off of that motherfucker damn near. Like that shit was lit, bro. It was crazy because I've never seen that many people there to support me at once. So just opened up a whole nother area of what's to come in the future.
Yeah, I've seen some of the videos. It seems like people do get really lit at certain Flint parties.
Oh yeah. I think that's a really important part of every show is you can't get up there and just rap. You have to have your hype man. You have to get everybody lit. You have to get everybody stand the fuck up. What are you doing? You gotta you get people moving and grooving. They feel the music a lot better. Shit, hard as hell.
coughing up over there. So let's talk about drugs and you hear a lot of rappers doing drugs, sometimes having fun, sometimes ODing, sometimes having addiction. So what's your take on all of that kind of situation, and how do they particularly influence your sound or life, etc.?
um, well, I think drugs are okay in like moderation. Like I mean, it really does depend on the drugs. Like when I'm saying drugs, I mean in like mushrooms, a little bit of LSD, weed, fucking the small stuff. I'm not talking about crack cocaine and you just leave all that shit alone. I do think that drugs are a huge part of my life. My dad's an addict. Half of my family are addicts. So I think that I've strayed away from very addictive substances. So I just partake in like party drugs like weed and maybe shrooms here and there, a little bit of LSD, like I said, but
Or like recreational,
yeah, recreational
yeah,
type things. Yep.
yeah, because it's like you hear this from a lot of musicians. It's like it's kind of like a fine line. So a lot of the music that we hear wouldn't exist without drugs, but at the same time, we have artists that don't exist because of drugs. So it's one of those things that
Yeah, like Juice WRLD.
responsible use is very
Man,
important.
rest in peace, Juice WRLD, for real. That man, that's a Juice WRLD's, in my opinion, one of the best new artists. And in my eyes, he is new because 5, 6 years, 8 years, that's still new to me. So he's one of the best new artists, and it's very very sad that he passed away. Doing all them damn drugs.
And since we in the topic, I've seen a recent trend that even in rap, there's always been a stigma that is attached to mental health. But then we had like rappers like XXX Tentacion. I can think of Juice WRLD actually as another example of bringing these kind of topics up to the forefront in the mainstream. And what's your take on that?
I think that most people really never understood that a lot of those topics were always mainstream, except for, um, I feel like those specific artists' music relate to younger audiences more than they would to an older audience, mostly because they brought it to light in an easier way to understand. Is how I think. So like Eminem back in the day, he was literally talking about killing his kid's mom. He's talking about putting her in the, like, that is mental illness to the T, but you wouldn't really get that out of the music, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the newer artists were able to elaborate and give everybody more of a outlook on, this is what is going on inside of my head, instead of this is what I'm about to do because of what's going on inside of my head.
All right. So Sparrow of Flint, where can we find your music? Where can we find you online on socials? Are you on
Well,
Spotify, YouTube? Just
everything is at Sparrow Official 810, one big word. The only thing that's different is damn. The only thing that's different is Twitter, and you can find my Twitter by looking up the Sparrow Official 810, like on Instagram and on YouTube and everything like that. And if you're watching this video right now, go comment "Run It Back Chop" on one of my YouTube videos. All you gotta do is just search Sparrow with Flint on YouTube or Apple Music as well. Spotify, Apple Music, like every streaming platform you could think of, just type up Sparrow of Flint and you'll find my album. Go stream that motherfucker for me, go run up the plays. Let's get it, Sparrow Army.
all right. Looking forward to your future projects. We'll be having you again soon.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. It was great being here, and I hope you tackle the holidays and the lockdown very, very well.
All right, man.